and welcome back to Vanircreations tutorials. This week we're going to be making this beginner's macrame mooncatcher. It's going to be a lot simpler than the last mooncatcher we made. The only knot that you really need to get familiar with on this one is the square knot and the reverse lark's head knot. It's quite simple, like I said. There will be a kit that will be linked down below for this one. You can get it in a range of colours, so you can get it in colour 1, which I've chosen grey, and colour 2, which I've chosen teal. And the beads in this one will match the colour of string that you choose. So if you choose teal and grey, you'll get teal and grey beads. Please comment down below and let me know what you would like to learn next, and let's get into it. For the first part of this tutorial, we're going to wrap our hoop in our first colour, which is the base colour, and I've chosen the light grey. So I'm going to wrap the cord around the end in a normal knot and then tie just in a normal overhand knot, just a simple knot just like this. And that's just to keep it secure, so just to keep it tied on. And then we're going to start wrapping. So you just go around the hoop like this. And with these smaller reels, it's much easier, these smaller spools, it's much easier to wrap the hoop. So as you're going round, make sure that you push the inner part of the hoop, keep pushing your string up this way, so like up just a tiny bit, not a lot, just to make sure that your string is going straight along the hoop and not diagonal along the hoop. So just keep wrapping like that and then just keep pushing it up a bit. So now I'm coming to the end. I'm just going to carry on wrapping. And then I'm going to cut that off. I'm going to leave quite a bit of string, maybe about 10 centimetres, and cut. Let's pop this string down. And then you've got some string left to wrap it. So now we're going to glue. I've got my glue gun here. Now we're going to hot glue gun. Needs a new stick. Use this thing all the time. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do just a little line of glue. Then I'm going to pop my glue gun down. Then I'm quickly going to wrap that around the end. just like that. And then I'm going to cut it so it's completely covered, and then I'm going to cut it. And then I'm going to glue them ends down now. You're just putting a little bit of glue and then just pushing the ends down with the glue gun, not with your fingers because you'll burn yourself. So literally I'll use the glue gun to push down the little threads. And that end is done. Woo! So I'm just going to do the other end. And there's your Mooncatcher all wrapped. Now for the web, you're going to need your thick thread. I'm using white thick thread here, which will be available in the kit. And what we're going to do is we're going to tie on the end of your Mooncatcher. Just in a normal overhand knot. Just a normal knot, 3 times. So make sure that's nice and tight. And then just cut that end off, but not too close. Now what you do is you get your thread and you measure 6 centimetres. So measure 6 centimetres and then you're going to go round at 6 centimetres. So round the front, round the back and through that loop. Measure 6 centimetres. I'll show you a few times. And it's just the same thing, you're just repeating the same thing all along the base. So you're going round it, under it, and then you're going to go under this loop that you've created here. Under it. 6 centimetres. Around it, and then through this loop here. So I've gone 6 centimetres, round and through that loop. And you're just carrying on that same pattern. 6 centimetres and through the loop. And this thread should sit in between these segments of string that you've already wrapped your hoop in. Now you've come to the end, do the last one just like you did before, but this time you're going to go round again on the same spot. So go round on the same spot and you're going to go through your loop here. So you're just basically tying it off. Do that once and then go back through your loop here. So now what we're going to do is pull them out and you start going through these whole like loops that you've made. So this gets pulled out and this goes through. Your thread goes through it. Pull out, put your thread through. Just keep going right to the other end. And then when you've come to this side again, you're going to tie off. So wrap round it and through, round it and through 3 times, round, and then you go through this loop. Pull tight and then just cut, not too close because it'll unravel. So that is your first 2 rows of your web. Now I'm going to get 3 grey and 3 teal, because teal's my second colour. So my first colour is grey, so I'm going to do my first ones in grey. And if you need to use a needle to thread your beads, you can, but it should be quite simple just to thread them. Now I've got my 3 grey and 3 teal beads. I'm going to tie this onto the Mooncatcher, just as we did before. So I'm going to tie the thread back onto the Mooncatcher. I've tied it about 4 or 5 times there. Cut this end off. And now we're going to thread this through these segments, so which is the next one up. So pop it through, pull it out and pop it through, pull it out. Keep going all the way around. And then at the other side, you're going to tie off again and pull round and through that loop, round and through that loop, pull tight. Then we're going to space these beads out. Now we're going to go back. So now you can pull the segments out with the beads and go through them. Well, you're pulling all you're going through every single segment, but some of them have beads on now, but it doesn't make a difference, it still works the exact same way. And then go around and tie off again. And then go back the other way, so you're going through the segments, the next lot. Tie again.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here.
And then go around again, this time tie off in about 4 or 5 knots and cut off. And we're going to add the next lot of beads. And now tie this on just as you did before. I'm going to do 4 knots. And then just pull each segment out.
To be in the great outdoors.
Thread your beads through. And then tie off. Oh, not tie off, tie the end on, and then we're going to go back through one more time. And then that should be your last segment. Or your last row. So when you come to this end, again, go round, through, round, and through the loop, just as you were doing before. Once you get the hang of it, it's quite simple. Gone round about 5 times there, just because it's the last time. Just for good. There we go. We can always mess around with the beads later on, so don't worry if you don't feel like they're exact. Now I'm going to tie a loop on the moon so it can be hung on the wall. So I've got a piece of string here. It is about 40 centimetres long, so I'm going to pull out some threads from that piece of string. Probably about 7 threads, and I'm going to twist it so it stays nice and firm, and I'm going to tie it on the top of my moon catcher, just in a normal overhand knot. 1, 2, whoop, 3, 4, nice and firm. Then I'm going to cut them ends off. And there you can hang it. As you can see, I've just put it around the middle of the top so that it hangs nice and evenly. Now I'm going to get 2-metre lengths and add them to the bottom of my moon catcher. I've got 8 in total, and we're going to add them in reverse lark's head knot. So we're going to go round the back, then round the front, part it, and then these 2 cords here go through. Let me put these cords down so I can show you that again much clearer. So we go round the back with our 2-metre length, apart, and then that goes through. I'll show you again. Pop this cord round the back and through, round the front, open it up and through. So these are all 2 metre lengths. You pop them in half and then you put them onto the Mooncatcher using reverse lark's head knot. The first set, there is 8. When you've got all your cords on the bottom of the Mooncatcher, get the centre 4 cords and do a square knot. So how we do this is we have the 4 centre cords, the 2 in the centre are going to be the filler cords. This one on the right is going to go over and under the one on the left. So it goes over these 2 and then under this one on the left. Then this cord here is going to go under all of them. So this one on the left goes under all of them and through this loop, and then you just tighten it up like that. So I'll show you again. You can see this cord here goes over the 2 in the centre but under this one on the right. Then this one on the right goes under all of them and through this cord here, this loop. I'm going to try and show you a bit closer. So now get the 4 cords next to this centre one. And we're going to do another square knot. So this one on the right goes over the 2 in the centre and under this one on the left. And then this cord goes under all of them and then through this loop that you're going to make here. And then you do the opposite way, so this cord on the left goes over these 2 in the middle, under this one on the right, and then this one on the right goes under all of them and through this loop here. Let me show you again. You can keep practicing that knot until you get it perfect and then carry on all the way along the length of your Mooncatcher underneath, doing square knots. When you've done that, now we need to do the centre shape. So get your centre 3 knots here, and we're going to do a knot in between each of these. So first start on the right here, so do a square knot. So as you can see, I'm using the 2 from these 2 knots, the 2 cords on the side as filler cords, and then the next 2 along are going to be the working cords that go around it. And then I'm going to do another square knot on the side of this one. So it's like you're creating the next row. So carry on doing the next row, and you're going to make like a decreasing square knot pattern. So keep making your rows of square knots. So the first one would have been 5, then 4, and then this one's going to be 3, and then 2, and then a 1. So if you can see, each time you go down a row you're going in between 2 other square knots. Then we're going to count the square knots on the right side of this decreasing square knot pattern. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and on the 4th one, get the cords in between the 4th and the 5th square knot to the right of this pattern, and then you're going to create a square knot underneath that, and then again next to it. And then again underneath these ones. And then do the same thing on the opposite side. So you're going to count from the left. 1, 2, 3, 4. And the 4th and the 5th you're going to put your square knot underneath it. Now I'm going to get the cords either side of this centre pattern, and I'm going to bring them together in a double overhand knot, almost framing this pattern, like that. We're going to do the same with these side ones, so get the cord from the square knots on either side, and then just do double. And on this side again. When you've got this shape, we're going to add our teal lengths. So now I've added them 16 lengths in the second colour, which I have got teal, 16 lengths in the 120 centimetres, and then in 80 centimetres I've got more lengths, and I'm going to add them the same way, using reverse lark's head knots to these side cords here. I'm just going to tidy up these ends and cut them in a V shape.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here